it's many years from now, but I believe at some point on Mike Keller's tombstone, it'll say, I still believe replay is necessary. Here lieth Michael James Montague Heller IV. Did I get all the middle names and the Roman numeral right?
Neither one of the middle names, but the Roman numerals.
Oh, darn it. Darn it. The reason I say that is this. Get this headline, Mike. Longtime NFL scout Jesse Kaye, Kaye,
sure, yeah,
who wanted the Jets to draft Tom Brady, dead at 79. It's a story in the New York Post, and I thought, is that on his tombstone? I told the Jets to
draft Brady.
and I've got the report to prove it. Like, wouldn't that be one of those things? What would you want on your sports tombstone? Oh, Josh, there is a summer sports radio.
That's so
topic.
juicy.
What do you want?
Should throw it right on the grill. Just throw it right on the grill. It's a juicy topic. Cook it up.
Save that for another time. Replay works most of the time, except for when it doesn't, like last night when Jimmy Butler's foot was clearly on the end line, and it led to a 3 by, I think, Strus for the Heat. I can't forget who. It was earlier in the game. It wasn't like at the end of the game, so I guess it didn't matter. But it's 3 more points that would have tied the game.
Mm-hmm.
Where's your replay now, Heller?
Well, they do have silly rules that have to, that you can't review something in which a whistle wasn't blown, for an out of bounds or a foul. You can't review that outside of the 2 minutes. There are some dumb things they need to clean up, Zay, but replay is a tremendous benefit to the world of sports.
Tremendous benefit, says Heller.
Huge.
Do you know when they found that thing about Butler's foot being clearly on the end line was while they were waiting on the adjudication of the Jokic clear path decision.
Sure.
On that outlet pass. So they were spending an inordinate amount of time on another replay when they realized, oh, crap, we missed that one.
Badger basketball won a game against Kansas this year that they lost because Kansas saved the ball on the baseline in the final minute of the game when the player was clearly out of bounds, but they never reviewed it. So, yeah, it does have its flaws, but
you still want to have it.
Yeah, was the Durant 3 ruled to 3 and then changed on replay?
Oh, so. God.
Okay, so do you want replay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, when it benefits
us, yeah. The other times, no. Okay.
Yeah, but when it screws us, then you can't pick and choose. Anyway. All right. So grilling real quick. I asked the simple question, is it overrated? And I talked about my wonderful and easy grilling of steaks on a grill pan yesterday for dinner. And I've been blasted as if I'm a blasphemer. I didn't say it's overrated. I asked.
Golf clubs are overrated, right? I mean, you got to buy new ones every 3 or 4 seasons. Oh, Steve, do you clean your golf clubs after you golf? Oh, yeah.
Easy clean.
Huh. Religiously. Oh, really? What about that grill? You ever just wipe down the grates or maybe, clean off those hoods? Wood pellet would be a better way to go. But all the people that are in on the Blackstones, which is a griddle, it's an outside griddle. Why wouldn't I griddle inside? What's the advantage of outside griddling? If I'm on griddle, I'd rather griddle where I'm comfortable. I don't feel like I need to have a beer when I griddle. I feel like I need to have a beer when I grill. But if I got a griddle, I know. I'm still
Heller's an anti-griddleite, but he is very pro-grilling.
Yes.
That's what I take. You've got a Traeger?
I do. Yeah.
And how long have you owned it?
Stuck out. This is probably 8 years I've had that thing now.
Nice.
And you do have to clean out the what am I thinking? The ash, the wood, the debris from the wood pellets.
Cinders,
but other than that,
ash, the meat chunks.
No,
what about the grease globules? Where do they go?
The pan, the heat pan in a Traeger has a heavy duty aluminum foil on that you got to change that about every now and then.
Every while?
Every once in a while.
How often?
Probably once every 5 or 6 grillings.
Oh.
That's a 30-second deal. Oh, hey, I gotta wipe down that 6-iron every time I hit it. Why do I even hit a 6-iron?
No.
Every
That's
time I hit
way
the 6-iron,
different.
I gotta clean out the grooves and wipe it down. Why do I even have one?
You got to clean out that
I'm just
pan, or
gonna
you got
play
to
on a
replace it.
simulator
You got to
off the
replace
turf.
it.
I don't
You
wanna
don't got
play
to
off the
replace your
grass
6-iron
anymore. It's a
every time you
mess.
play with it.
My answer to my question is grilling is rated. Does that make me a blasphemer? I'd say
No.
it's just
No.
rated.
No, you are a problem causer. You're a trouble causer.
I'm a problem causer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you are.
Let's talk about this string of very needy and or disruptive poll questions you're putting out about who do you want to hang
I
out
think
with on the
Here we
station
go.
and listing all the shows with a poll, you know?
You guys won. You
Who's
We
the most
last.
hated? Yeah,
I
who's the
knew-
most hated host on the show? Who's the
no.
wrongest of all time?
Who do you
What
want
is this going on?
Who do you want to disagree with the most? Who's the most high maintenance? How come you win all of
right?
Zabin wins the most high maintenance, the most you want to disagree with him the most. You also won. You and Josh won who you want to go out and drink with.
Yeah,
Well,
we
win
did
all of them.
31,
I don't know
What you're
31%.
complaining about.
I
mean,
know, but it seems
that
like
poll-
every 3 days it seems like there is a
No,
Mike Heller generated poll
it's-
designed to either inflame station tensions and or
All
come
right.
off as needy.
I love it
I'm
because
going
it's
to do
true.
it again on Friday because I
Oh,
think
boy.
the summer Friday Twitter polls need to be staff driven. So I'm looking for suggestions for
Good.
this Friday's
Oh,
animosity
So,
poll. It's cool. Call it the animosity poll.
And we'll start
Driven.
doing that same poll on Mondays.
see how the results vary.
Yeah, that's what we do here at the
Okay.
station. We just do someone else's thing on a different day.
Zabe, I got one for you. Unless you're heavy into the Brewers here, I'd like to get to the Brewers, but
We will.
at some point this week, I'm going to get a phone call from the Caddy Master at the AmFam Championship, the Champions Tour event,
yes.
and I'm probably going to get a loop
Nice.
for the tournament.
Steve?
Have you ever done that?
Are you getting Steve?
No, I wouldn't. I would probably get a qualifier or.
Oh.
No, Steve's got his.
I thought
Steve's
you were
caddies
tight
are
with
taken care of.
Stricker.
No, I just live by him.
So you're going to be a
Not like
looper?
we,
That's
not like we-
tight. You live by him.
Yeah.
You've interviewed him.
Yes.
He belongs to the same club you do.
He's not.
He
I've
helped
not golfed with him. and
Bankroll.
You've grilled with him?
I've not
You've
grilled
grilled?
or grilled with him or inside whatever
I've
you
griddled
did.
with him.
No,
Let's go griddle some meat.
griddle.
Yeah.
He wants to griddle
But
something.
have you ever done that? Have you ever looped in a tournament?
You ever
I've
been a pro
ne-
jock?
Makes me a
Yeah,
little
you know,
anxious.
pro jock,
Yeah.
looper. Yes. Trying to think the couple times I did. Well, actually,
Man, that
a
poor
pro
bastard.
loop, a
Yeah.
pro loop in a tournament that awards money.
Yeah.
Never.
Nah.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna get
Well, I
A
think I'm
pro
gonna get-
loop.
I might get. Yeah.
okay.
I
You're
told
probably
Kari,
gonna
I said,
get
if we hit the lottery here, you can get one of those guys that pulls off a boom. Oh my God! Look at that. We're gonna win.
no. Watch.
know,
You're gonna
it's like a
get
vacation.
You're gonna get El Toucan. Do you remember the legend of El Toucan? Josh, do you remember the legend of El Toucan?
No.
I don't. You have
Okay.
stories for everything.
You don't either, Heller?
No. Well, maybe I will once you
Okay.
start telling it.
You'll probably remember this. So Josh, hop up onto my knee
Yeah,
here.
all
Let
right, I'm
Uncle
coming.
Stevie tell you a story.
All right,
story
God,
time.
you're
Here I
heavy.
come.
All right. So about
Why do you have
3
to do
years
that, Josh?
ago,
Why did he have to
Oh,
just go there with that?
That's what he does.
Huh?
You get
Sorry.
used to it.
because you're a grown man. Anyway, so about 3 years ago, 4 years ago, Matt Kuchar, known PGA Tour star and Ryder Cupper, played in this fall event on the PGA Tour, Mayakoba Classic down in Mexico. It's an off-season event, so it's sort of not a high-profile event, but he was struggling. He wanted to try to get, some reps in, and who knows. Catches fire that week, ends up winning the tournament, but he didn't even bring his own caddy with him
Yeah.
to the event. He hired a local looper there who went
Yeah.
by the nickname El Toucan. And word filtered out months after the event that he had basically stiffed El Toucan for the typical
Like Matt Kuchar.
winner's percentage to the caddy. Normally it's 10% of first place. And I believe first place, Mike, was $1.2 million.
Hello. Yeah. About 120.
So El
grand right there.
Toucan, Josh, probably should have been given $120,000.
Okay.
Instead, Kuchar gave him $5,000,
Oh,
but then defended it, saying it was double the amount he agreed to pay before the week began.
I remembered. I remember the story fully on the Kuchar side. I didn't know what the caddy's name was. That's why when you said El Toucan,
I just remember his nickname is El Toucan. That's
right.
I don't know what his real actual given name is, but so Josh, on a scale of 1 to 10 being you're the worst, awful person.
yeah, bad optics.
Where did Matt Kuchar rank on that one?
Bad optics there.
Yeah,
you know, like technically
bad karma.
So
bad karma. I said,
right.
And Kuchar's argument was sound, Mike, in that he goes, look, there was a language barrier. He was my regular caddy. He agreed to the deal, was happy to take the bag at $2,500 for the 4 days, or it might have been 2 days because they thought he was going to miss the cut.
Yeah.
So double is better. His arguments were sound, but to me, I would have paid the full 120.
Yeah.
To keep the karma shiny.
So last week, Steve Stricker won the senior PGA championship in Texas, and his daughter Izzy, who's 17, caddied for him all weekend. So we had Steve and Izzy on the golf show. Well, they didn't tell us. I asked Izzy on the radio show last Monday night. I said, Izzy, the question everybody wants to know is, what did Dad pay you? And she started laughing and said, you're going to have to ask him. And then he was already gone because we had him on earlier in the show. So I don't know what he paid her, and I don't know what he can pay her or what he can't pay her. You know, I mean, it's an allowance, right? Essentially, he could, because he won $630,000, so she's due $63,000.
That's a lot of Weber grills.
On the $63,000
to his 17-year-old daughter, who won the state high school golf championship as a junior. Going to come back and defend it this year.
That's awesome. She's probably looking around like, oh, Dad, look at this BMW 330i convertible. It is $62,999.
Steve, weren't you a walking scorer in one of the pro tournaments? Didn't you handle the walking leaderboard?
Did I tell this story to you before about it was the Anderson Consulting at Black Wolf Run back in the day? You're laughing. You remember the story?
No, I don't. I got a little chirp from the deceased.
To ask
Getter.
Okay. Okay.
He's not with us
So do you
anymore.
remember?
He died.
Right.
Do you remember late 90s? There was a match play mini tournament at Black Wolf Run River.
Okay.
Called the Anderson Consulting Match Play Championship that attracted big names.
Right.
Norman was there. I forget a couple of big names.
Yeah.
I lobbied the guy at American Club because I was living in Illinois at the time.
It's not like
I said I'd love. I know. I said I lobbied the guy. I said I'd love to be the guy that carries the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I did. So I got the job. I'm like, this is great. I'm inside the ropes, and I had David Frost.
Oh yeah.
David Frost, who was South African, good player, but not a superstar.
Right.
And I remember on the 5th hole, he hits this incredible shot to the uphill elevated green that looked like it was tight. We get up there and he's looking around. Where's the ball? Couldn't find the ball. Ball had gone too far over the back into some long rough. Had a very terrible lie, ends up chunking it out, goes way past, makes bogey. For some reason, Heller, I have no idea what prompted me to say this. As we're trudging up the hill to the 6th tee, I said, while in front of David Frost, I said, tough break there, Frosty. And I immediately knew, shut your face.
You're not supposed to talk.
What are you doing? I mean, this is not they're playing for like $1 million if you get through this mini bracket of 16 players. I could feel David Frost's eyes like they were laser beams burning holes in the back of my head.
The advice for a caddy or a walking scorer is to put up, shut up, and keep up. Put up with their business. Don't say anything. Shut up. Don't say anything, and keep up. You got to keep up. That's it. That's all you have to do.
Well,
which one did Steve not do?
Yeah.
He didn't shut up.
All of them.
Weird.
Well, I kept up. I think I kept up. Yeah. The other thing is, so thankfully they didn't immediately sack me.
Right.
He didn't humiliate me in front of everybody, which he could have, but I felt it. Oh, I felt the frost of David Frost coming over me, cold front coming over, right?
I would think so.
But thankfully, in a weird way, that happened, and I said, shut up to
You
myself.
told yourself.
On the 6th hole, because on the 16th hole, Mike, he got an even worse break. One of the worst I've ever seen. He hits his drive on that downhill par 5, spectacular par 5.
Yep.
The fairways are kind of moist, and his ball made a pitch mark and then popped up right behind it. Or no, right in front of it. And you're not allowed, according to the rules of golf, to repair pitch marks of your ball in the fairway. You can on the green, but down on the fairway. So it's a reachable par 5. He smoked a drive, but it plugged and popped out and was sitting in front of this little volcano of grass.
Yeah.
As I walked up, I go, oh, that is the worst break I've ever seen. But shut
up.
mouth.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, good call by you that time.
Good call by me. So you're going to get a loop. That's going to be
Maybe,
great.
yeah.
It's a senior tour event. You'll probably get some struggling ex-tour player we haven't heard from in years, like Jose Cocheras or whatever, and
Sure.
hopefully you win. That'd be a great story.
Yeah, shoot, they don't have a cut, so I mean, there's a draw somewhere, right?
True.
So, yeah, we'll
these,
see.
How about these? How about
It's a
these
lot of
Brewers,
math.
Mike?
It's a lot
I
of
know.
math.
How about these Brewers? This is
yeah.
a fun team, isn't it?
Well, and you look at the franchise depth that is on display. Andrew Monasterio, who left yesterday's game but was huge. Blake Perkins on the Grand Slam and the 5 RBIs on Saturday. So the guys who have produced the most over the weekend: Caratini, Weimer, Perkins, Miller, Monasterio, Miller. None of those guys are. We don't think of any of those guys when we begin. So
Well, of course not.
Matt Arnold deserves a ton of credit. Craig's going to get some. Counsel is the Brewers have the 4th best record in the National League. 4th best record in the National League. And they're doing it with smoke and mirrors because 3 of their rotational pitchers are on the IL. And their starting center fielder is on the IL. And their starting third baseman is on the IL. And their starting shortstop's on the IL. They're doing that. They're doing this, 4th best record in the National League with all of that. But it does help that they're playing a team that can't pitch. Cincinnati can't pitch. The Brewers beating up on them.
Right.
Scored 23 runs in 20 runs in the first 3 games. It's fun.
Right. 23 runs for the team that was struggling to score 1 run.
Yeah.
in the
Well,
previous set
the
against
Reds
the
have given
Giants
up
at
more
home.
runs than any other team in the National League. So go get healthy bats when you play in Cincinnati. 20 runs in the first 3, and they get a major league debut against them tonight. Well, that hasn't always been good for the Brewers, but we'll see.
I kind of love it though. Don't
fun.
you think it's fun when teams do this kind of stuff, because they're winning now when they can against the teams they should, which is important. And you have a feeling like eventually some of these guys are going to flood back in from the injured list.
I saw Andrew Monasterio and Blake Perkins a lot after the 4th inning at American Family Fields
In Arizona.
Phoenix in March.
Yeah.
They had a lot of at-bats after the 5th inning, and John Singleton too. What a story. Isn't that an amazing story, the Singleton deal?
It's a great
7
story.
years.
We talked a little bit about it. The long road back as a story
My
arc, either in
goodness.
movies or in sports, is one of the great story arcs ever. And full props to the man for confronting one of the toughest challenges in life, drug addiction, and reaching back to the major leagues. I hope he sticks for a while. David Giral Ortiz, says Eric Gitter. He looked it up and texted us, even though he's from beyond the grave. That's El Toucan, the caddy of note. And Falcon John says, as a WIA athlete, I'm pretty sure that Izzy can't get a penny from that loop.
I think dad can pay daughter as much as dad wants to pay daughter. I think in the family, it's a totally different deal.
Well, it's taking money from Stricker's right pocket and putting it in his left pocket.
Who gets to dictate what he gives her for an allowance?
Right.
So, no, I think
she
within
can't get a
the
penny
family,
for
that's
that.
not a
She
deal.
just got a BMW 330i convertible that happened to be just about 10% of the winner's cut.
There you go.
Whoops.
Oopsie.
All right, today, noon to 3, Mike Keller, Billy Schmid. I know you'll be tuning in then. Good to talk to you, Mike. Thanks.
All right, see you, boys.
All right, let's take a break.